Clayton, when you ran through the offense, you mentioned identity, and this is what seems to be so impressive about what's happened on offense is they've been able to establish an identity. The identity is what Jim Harbaugh wants it to be. It's toughness, it's run first, it's offensive line dominance, but they didn't get stuck there, which was the fear of a lot of Michigan fans. They didn't get stuck there early in the season. Oh, we can only run. We're not going to have explosive plays. We're not going to be able to throw it when we need to. They've been able to have a balanced offense in their own way and maintain an identity of toughness, run first, offensive line.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's where it starts with this Michigan team. And Josh Gaddis, the offensive coordinator, has done a really good job, but there's noticeable differences between what they're running or what they ran the last 2 years under his tutelage and what they're doing now. A lot more of the Jim Harbaugh offense, basically what he ran at Stanford and San Francisco, but, man, out of a pistol and, the shotgun and, some spread stuff, but you're seeing two tight ends quite a bit as well, and they want to just run the ball right at you, pulling guards, pulling tackles, pulling your center at times, pulling tight ends around, getting lead blockers out there and making you basically be more physical, get off blocks, kind of taking it back to the throwback type of football. As Jim Harbaugh said, channeling Bo Schembechler and how, he would just talk about blocking and tackling. That's what it's going to come down to. And then that's what it came down to against Ohio State when they kind of ran it right at him. 5 touchdowns on the ground, almost 300 yards. So it's worked. But then, yeah, you mentioned, just how much balance this offense has as well. Early on in the season, I was on with you and we were saying, man, before that Wisconsin game, they're probably not going to be able to run much on Wisconsin, so they're going to have to beat them through the air. They were able to do that. That was the first test. And then it's just gotten better and better throughout the season. Credit to Cade McNamara for improving throughout the year, but just kind of staying steady. He'll make a mistake, but he always comes back and, is able to, make plays down the stretch, as we saw against Penn State. Not a ton of weapons on this team, but they're kind of using them in the right spots. They're using certain guys on, stuff to the edge. They're using the tight ends over the middle. They're using Roman Wilson on some deep balls and things like that. They're kind of really clicking right now, and I think they've kind of figured out what they want to be offensively, and there's still a lot of balance in there, but you're right. It starts with that run game. Then you take everything else from there and, basically take what the defense gives you. You see the safety start to creep in. Cade McNamara then can hit him over the top or make a play through the air. So, been impressive, I think, what Josh Gaddis and what Jim Harbaugh have done with this offense this season. After, again, last year, you look at statistically, there wasn't much to build on, and they kind of overhauled some things and made some big changes, and it's paid off.
We've got 3 weeks to talk the Georgia matchups, so we'll let you dive into the Bulldogs. I've seen them play probably 5 times this year, so I typically try to catch everybody. I think the two teams are pretty similar. They can look at each other and pretty much see strength on strength across the board. So what's your initial thought?
Yeah, I think they're similar in style. Georgia's a good running team, but I think Stetson Bennett also is a pretty good quarterback. They got a good tight end. I think Bowers is his name. So, they have some identity on offense, very similar to Michigan in that sense. And then defensively, I think they're kind of Michigan, but, better, with that D line, which is just ridiculous. You look at those guys and, it's hard to believe they're not NFL linemen already. A lot of them will be very, very soon. I've caught them a couple times, bits and pieces, of their games, and they've just been so impressive that you almost want to flick away and watch another game because they're going to dominate. But now here we are with Michigan having to play them. So, yeah, we'll delve into them in the weeks to come, but I think it's going to be a tough challenge. Touchdown underdog feels about right to me for Michigan, but that was what they were against Ohio State. So I don't think there's any guy in that building that doesn't believe they can come in and win this game. It's going to take a lot. It's going to take a great effort, and that's what Cade McNamara and some of the guys said the other day. But they got a shot. That's really all they've ever asked for and all they've wanted this season. They've taken advantage of most of those opportunities they've had. This will be a great one. Colors, I think, will look good out there down in Miami. So excited for, Kirby Smart, Jim Harbaugh, a little history between the two back in the satellite camp days. But, should be a good one. And I think it's going to be low scoring, as I mentioned earlier, with both defenses playing pretty well. So it's going to be a good one. And then Alabama, Cincinnati, the precursor to that. It'll be a pretty good New Year's Eve.